Bun B, obviously an OG in the rap game, a Hall of Famer. So in your honor, we've got a hip-hop bracket, NCAA tournament style, and we're going to crown the best of all time. This is our list of Sweet 16 MCs, okay? So there have been some upsets in the first 2 rounds. Some names obviously not on the board. UGK not on the board.
Yeah, I was going to ask about what's up with that.
I mean, we already know it's in the Hall of Fame. We don't need you to tell everybody.
Okay.
You can't vote for yourself, you know?
All right, I believe that.
I know Marty's Upset Currency's not on there.
And DMX is not on there.
And DMX isn't on there, but we're not gonna get to that. There were some upsets in the first 2 rounds. So all that being said, grab your Sharpie, Bun, and let's start with the North. Kanye and Chance. Who's the king of Chicago?
All right, we're going just purely on the rap, right? Just on who they are.
The body of work.
Yeah. Not their personal life.
Not their meetings with the president.
We just judging music.
It's got nothing to do with their hats, right?
No, not what hat they're wearing.
All right, well, this one's going to be pretty easy. Don't get me wrong, Chance the Rapper is an amazing new talent. I love his content. I love the direction where he comes from. You know, he's not scared to express his faith, his spirituality, but just on body of work and their contributions to the culture musically, you have to give this one to Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Kanye's done a lot of amazing music. He's put together some pretty classic albums, Late Legislation. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Kanye on this. And again, my handwriting's gonna be trash on
My Dark Twisted Fantasy Nightmare is one of the best albums of
absolutely.
Wow.
I like the 808 and Heartbreaks, actually.
808 and Heartbreaks.
Crazy, it's been, 15 plus years all of a sudden for Kanye West. So yeah, the body of work for sure. Moving on in the North.
Eminem versus Drake. This one is not the hardest one to come to. I think a lot of purists would automatically go with Eminem over Drake simply because of the argument of whether or not Drake has, songwriters or whatever. And then Eminem literally has written some of the best bars anyone has ever spit in hip hop. So this one is, again, another easy one for me. I'm going Eminem on this.
Did you listen to a lot of M growing up, Marty?
Yeah, Slim Shady changed my life. Hi, my name is. Kids, you want to do what I did? Stick 9-inch nails to each one of your eyelids. Try to see it. Get more fucked up than my life is. My brand's dead wave. That shit was tight, man. Shit.
Would not have been the artist I thought you would connect it with.
There you go.
Well, I listen
Next
to a lot
up
of
is
music.
the East. What do we got? So we got a playing game in the East.
We got a playing game. So before we can pick this, of course we got Biggie here. Obviously Biggie won his early rounds easily. The play-in is Tribe Called Quest versus Wu-Tang. Both of these prolific groups, both of them have legendary albums. I'm gonna probably go with Tribe Called Quest, and the reason I say that is Wu-Tang is for the people. Wu-Tang is something that people really got into, was embraced by the culture. Tribe Called Quest is really more of a critic's darling. I think, you know what I'm saying, they're more of your favorite rapper's favorite rapper kind of thing. So I'm gonna go with Tribe Called Quest in this over Wu-Tang.
I like the professor approach you're taking up there too.
He is a professor. No, you can tell that he's
I'm just write Tribe right here.
Holds lectures all the time in class.
But I feel like
so Tribe and Biggie.
The Wu, the Wu's great though.
Yeah, they've had some missteps though. Some of these.
Don't get it twisted. Wu-Tang is one of my favorite groups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I know how. Nobody's really dying for a new Wu-Tang album in that sense.
So a lot of people died with what's name bought the rights to that album.
Everybody was
Biggie and Tribe now, 1 and 4 in the.
Well, and here's the thing, right? The play-in to me doesn't even really matter because at the end of the day, you're going up against literally one of the best people to ever execute the craft. Biggie, while he didn't have a long bio of work, everything he wrote was near classic. All the songs, everything. People draw from it for hooks. He's one of the most recited artists ever. So we're gonna automatically give this one to Biggie, regardless of who the the play-in winner was gonna be. This was always gonna be Biggie's win. Now here's the one, right? Nas versus Jay-Z. And for me,
Jay-Z.
This one for me is not easy. These are both good friends of mine. Both people that I looked up to as writers, you know what I'm saying, and businessmen for that matter.
One of those guys gave you a record though that you're going to perform for the rest of your life around the world. So
Absolutely.
Someone tells me I know you're going with the 3 seed.
It's very hard for me to not be biased about this. But the reason I say Jay-Z is because Nas doesn't put out as much work as he used to. Jay is still very prolific, still putting out solo albums, putting out albums with the white.
The record with Kanye this summer, yeah, the record earlier this year.
That was a terrible album, terrible beat selection.
Well, I just think that Nas is not as pressed about his lyrical legacy because Nas has already written certified classics.
Yeah.
I feel like Jay is still working to build a lot of his catalog up. Nas still has certified classics, but I'm gonna go with Jay just on being more prolific.
But Nas had the LeBron effect. His first album was just so, he came out into the game just on top.
Heading west now, Tupac and Snoop. People forget Pac was signed to death row for 9 months.
And then, with Snoop, you've got you've got the same issue that you got with a Nas. Like Snoop came out the door and his first album was so incredible, you end up spending your rest of your career trying to live up to that. And I don't know if anybody could handle going up against Tupac. I mean,
we did a story on the show last week saying he's about to put out 2 more albums. So.
But again, we're talking about lyrical ability and putting music out as opposed to who they were, because Tupac was never really the best rapper, right? But he was the most influential, the most dynamic rapper. And I think the West Coast would agree with me that—
I think Snoop is influential too, though.
Snoop is the most popular rapper ever.
Yes.
Snoop makes sense in every
I don't think there's another rapper.
Snoop's at the High Times Awards. He's the
I don't think
Kid's
there's
Choice.
another
He's at
rapper's
the Super
face
Bowl.
that
He's
would
at
be
the
more
Oscars. He's
recognizable
Snoop.
than
He's in every single room.
But I feel like even Snoop would give it up to Tupac. I'm gonna have to give it up to Tupac.
Doggy Style is one of my favorite. I thought you was gonna say position, but I'm talking about albums.
No,
one
I
of
knew
my
you were
favorite
gonna say
albums of all time.
Skits on that
I
album.
would definitely pick a Tupac on it. Now this one is interesting. NWA versus Kendrick. If this was Ice Cube versus Kendrick, it'd be more of a battle. But because it's NWA, you've got Ice Cube and Eazy-E versus Kendrick. And I think that's a no-brainer that NWA wins this. Even though Kendrick will probably end up being one of the top 5 best rappers of all time.
There would be no Kendrick without NWA.
But that doesn't play into this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that would
So
change a lot of things.
So you're going with just the Cube effect on top of Dre, on top of Easy. It's just too much.
Yeah, it's just too much West Coast.
All right,
yeah, you know.
Too much West Coast. All right, playing game in the South as we continue on our Hip Hop Hall of Fame bracket.
Okay.
Scarface
so
and Mr. 3-2. Who's Mr. 3-2?
Mr. 3-2 is one of the members of the Convicts, and Mr. 3-2 is one of the best rappers to ever come out of the South. But he died recently, and he never really got to live up to his full extent. You know what I'm saying? But he was always one of the best rappers. There was a time where we argued who was the best rapper in the city of Houston, whether it was Scarface or Mr. 3-2. But eventually Scarface did win that battle. But I say Mr. 3-2 because if you're from the South and you really pay attention to lyrics, you know that this dude was hell. You know what I'm saying? To keep up with for a couple of years. So we're gonna go Scarface on this one.
No Big Hawk, Lil Kiki.
Now,
those dudes are popular and they're prolific, but we're going with straight lyrics. Lil Kiki is an argument for this right here, right? Against Mr. 3-2.
Now, is Scarface going up against the entire Dungeon family? Is he going up against Outkast? Is he going up against just Andre?
He's going up against Outkast, so he's going up against Andre and Big Boy on this one. And I think that's where it goes. I think Andre and Scarface would probably be right on that same playing field, but with Big Boy in there, I'm sorry, I have to give it to Outkast. And Face is gonna get me for this too.
I think Big Boy's underrated.
I know he's underrated.
As a lyricist.
Big Boy underrated?
Yes. My handwriting's getting worse and worse and worse.
Now, this is a tough one. You circled this matchup, Bun, before we even got started.
Yeah, this is one of those that you mark your calendar with, you know what I'm saying? Both of these dudes are really, really good rappers. Both of them are prolific. Both of them have great punchlines. Both of them have great cadence, voices, videos, everything. But at the end of the day, I think we have to give it to Lil Wayne.
Yes.
I mean, Lil Wayne's impact on the culture is really, very few people on this board have impacted the culture more than Lil Wayne. If you look at every rapper right now, everybody's got dreadlocks, everybody's got tattoos on their face, and 1 out of every 3 rappers has Lil in front of their name. So I think it goes without saying Lil Wayne wins this one.
I'm just upset that Silk the Shocker wasn't on there.
Oh, I gave Silk the Shocker like 20 points in my basketball league 2 years ago. All right, next up, the North. Let's go to Kanye and Eminem.
This is a no-brainer. Eminem's gonna win this one hands down. They both had big albums, both had, you know, classic albums, but M's had more and M's just done more.
Both pissed off too.
We're going Eminem on this.
Let's go on, who do you got next in the East? Biggie and Jay.
Gotta give it to Biggie.
Brooklyn's finest.
We gotta give it to Biggie. We're gonna use your argument, Marty. There is no Jay-Z without Biggie.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z's bars and Jay-Z's lyrical flow, while pretty much on par with Biggie, is still playing catch up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Biggie was the best breathing cadence. If you ever listen to a rap, like when he breathes, his breath control is just.
All right, so we got 2 of the final 4. We go out to the West now, Tupac and NWA, Bun B.
Whew, this is a tough one right here. These are both staples. But we're talking about legacy, and I still think Tupac stands amongst the greats on this.
One was great in movies, the other was a great movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's Ice Cube has made some of the best movies.
That's right, that's true.
He's changed. Ice Cube's the only person that can say, fuck the police and then make Are We There Yet?
Right. But I'm gonna go with Tupac. I feel like Tupac's a deeper staple on this one, so I'm just gonna go with Tupac.
Outkast and Wayne for the King of the South.
Oh, that's a
Being that
tough
you can't
one.
vote for yourself.
Yeah, this is a big one. Outkast versus Lil Wayne. And here's the thing about Outkast. Here's what separates both of these two. Because Lil Wayne, obviously, and Andre 3000, the two of the best to ever do it. Biggs, highly underrated. But Outkast also produced a lot of their records too. And I think we got to give a little credit to that.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
So I'm gonna go Outkast on this one.
Ooh.
They didn't have a Manny Fresh.
Eminem and Biggie, who you got?
M.
Eminem
Were
and
they on the
Biggie.
Dead Wrong song together?
Yeah,
And who had the best verse on that when they both was on the same playing field?
I think
same
Biggie.
time? You
But
thought?
but the thing is that M got to hear Biggie's verse. That's it. You don't get credit for that.
Big has all types of records.
You don't get credit for that.
And
Okay.
Big enunciates. You go to an Eminem show, the crowd's not singing the words.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to go to a rap. You don't have to go to a rap show to hear people sing Biggie songs.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Who you got?
Biggie
Big
can
and
play
M. Who you
anywhere,
got,
yeah.
Bun?
I say I
I'm
agree
going
with
Biggie,
that.
man.
Yeah. there
I
it
agree
is.
with that.
And then Pac and Outkast on the other side of the Final Four.
That's
I think-
no contest.
I think that, but Andre and Big Boy had just the amount of impact on the culture and the world as Tupac did.
No, you can go to any country around the world with a
Tupac
Tupac shirt on. and
Tupac versus Biggie
means something in that
in the
country.
championship round.
And this is the ultimate barbershop conversation.
Yeah, I knew we were
Yeah.
gonna get to
right
this
here,
point.
Biggie or Tupac.
Where's Maverick Carter when you need him?
Yeah.
Both of them, had short careers. Both of them very, emphatically impacted the culture. And this would just be my personal choice on this one. I'm gonna have to go with Biggie on this.
Yeah.
I know people are gonna like that I picked Biggie over Pac, but we're talking about skills and talent. And in my opinion, being around MCs pretty much all my life, being around some of the best people, no one gets more admiration as a writer, just purely as a writer, than Biggie does. No one in the culture.
We'll make sure we get him some security on his way out of LA.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch the next big client
Well, class
out of
is
Los
over.
Angeles for sure.
Thank you, Professor Bun B, for this.
I apologize for my handwriting.